Hello children, this is the third video on the chapter Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry. Let's see first the Dalton's atomic theory. Actually, chemical reactions always obey certain laws known as laws of chemical combination. These laws suggest that the matter is composed of discrete particles which do not break up during a chemical change. John Dalton, he was an English chemist. He pondered over these laws and suggested that the discrete particles which build up matter are known as atoms. On the basis of the laws of chemical combination and the work of ancient Greek philosophers, he proposed a very important theory known as Dalton's atomic theory in year 1804. The basic postulates of his theory was: number 1, matter is made of extremely small discrete particles called atoms. Atoms of a particular element are identical in all respects, that is, they possess same size, same shape, same mass, and similar chemical properties. Atoms of one element differ from the other atoms of the other element in all respects. That is, the atom of two elements differ in size, shape, mass, and chemical properties. Atoms are indivisible, that is, they cannot be further subdivided. Atoms are indestructible, that is, they can neither be created nor be destroyed. Atom is the unit of chemical reaction, that is, it is the smallest particle that takes part in a chemical reaction. Last postulate: atoms of different elements combine with each other in a fixed, simple, whole number ratio to form compound. Atoms and molecules. The smallest particle of an element, which may or may not have an independent existence, is called an atom, while the smallest particle of a substance which is capable of independent existence is called a molecule, and both can participate in any chemical reaction. Molecules are further classified as homoatomic and heteroatomic. Homoatomic molecules are made up of atoms of the same element, and heteroatomic atoms will be of different element. And this heteroatomic can be monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, and polyatomic. Atomic mass unit. Now, concentrate here. One atomic mass unit is defined as a mass exactly equal to 1/12 the mass of the 1 carbon-12 atom, and 1 AMU is equals to 1.66056 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. This will be on the top, minus 24, 10 to the power, 10 raised to the power minus 24 gram. Today, nowadays, this AMU has been replaced by U, which is known as unified mass. Atomic mass. Suppose you have to calculate the atomic mass. How you will do? Simple formula is there. Atomic mass is equal to mass of an atom by 1/12 mass of carbon atom. And this carbon will be carbon 12. As you know, carbon have isotopes, so carbon 12 we will take here. So atomic mass of an element is defined as the average relative mass of an atom of an element as compared to the mass of an atom of carbon 12 taken as 12. Gram atomic mass, the mass, if it will be given in gram, we call it as gram atomic mass. The quantity of an element whose mass in grams is numerically equal to its atomic mass. In simple terms, atomic mass of an element expressed in grams is the gram atomic mass or gram atom. Just take an example. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16 AMU. Therefore, gram atomic mass of oxygen is 16 gram. Molecular mass of a substance is defined as the average relative mass of its molecule as compared to the mass of one atom of carbon 12 taken as 12. It expresses as the to how many times the molecule of a substance is heavier than 1/12 of the mass of an atom of carbon. Let's take an example of a molecule of carbon dioxide. If you will calculate its molecular weight, you will get 44. So carbon dioxide is 44 times heavier than 1/12 of the mass of an atom of carbon. Therefore, the molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44 AMU, and it is obtained by adding the atomic masses of all the atoms present in one molecule. Children, I just want to tell you the formula writing of powers and superscript, subscript, there was little bit problem in doing so. So I hope you should understand, and you should know that I know that you also know, and you should also know that I also know that when it should be superscript, when it should be subscript. So avoid those type of small mistakes. Gram molecular mass. A quantity of substance whose mass in grams is numerically equal to its molecular mass is called gram molecular mass. In simple terms, the molecular mass of a substance expressed in grams is called gram molecular mass. For example, the molecular mass of oxygen is 32 AMU or 32 U. Therefore, gram molecular mass of oxygen is equal to 32 gram. What is formula mass? Sum of atomic masses of the elements present in one formula unit of a compound, that is formula mass, and sum of atomic masses of the elements present in one formula unit of a compound. It is used for the ionic compounds. Now come to mole concept. This concept you have studied thoroughly in class 10th. After knowing all what is atom, molecule, atomic mass unit, unified mass, gram atomic mass, molecular mass, gram molecular mass, Avogadro's number, here comes the mole concept. What it is? A mole is the amount of any substance which contains as many elementary entities. What are these? Atoms, molecules, ions, etc. As there are atoms in exactly 12 grams of carbon 12. Thus, a mole is the amount of any substance which contains 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 elementary entities. Try to understand this. 1 mole in general is equals to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. 1 mole of atoms means 1 gram atom, and it is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. 1 mole of molecules means 1 gram mole. This is also equals to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. 1 mole of ions means 1 gram ion. This is also equals to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 ions. 1 mole of electrons is equals to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 electrons. Now, when you have to calculate the molar volume, it is the volume occupied by 1 mole of any substance is called its molar volume, and it is denoted by capital V. 1 mole of all gaseous substances at 273 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure occupies a volume equal to 22.4 liter, or you can say 22,400 milliliter. The unit of molar volume is liter per mole or milliliter mole. Percentage composition. This also you have done many numericals on this. Percentage composition, empirical formula, just by calculating how many elements are present, and their molecular formula, how many elements are present and what is their number. This all we see in empirical formula and molecular formula. These all things will be clear to you all when I will give you numericals based on these topics. There is a formula to calculate molecular formula. The two formulas are related as molecular formula is equals to N into empirical formula, and we can count the N is equals to molecular mass upon empirical formula mass. Chemical equation. A chemical equation is a brief representation of a chemical reaction in terms of chemical formulae of reactants and products in stoichiometric ratio. It tells which reactants are taking part in the reaction and which products are being formed in it. It provides whole number of molecules and moles of reactants and products. It provides the relative masses of all reactants and products. It provides the relative volume of gases, reactants and products. Now let's see the reactions in solutions. This is very important. This also refers as volumetric calculations. Before seeing the formulas, different of mass percentage, volume percentage, normality, formality, molarity, molality, try to understand the what is volumetric analysis. Actually, volumetric analysis is a quantitative analysis and involves the determination of the strength of the unknown solution with the help of a solution whose strength is known. The procedure used is called titration. What is titration? Titration involves the addition of a solution of known strength to a definite volume of a solution of unknown strength until the reaction between the two is just complete. How we will come to know that reaction is complete? We will use some liquid, or you can say we will try to find out the end point of the titration. The point at which the reaction gets completed is referred to as the end point of the titration. And to find the end point, we use certain indicators, and for different type of titration, different type of indicators are used. Some common terms which are used in titration are as follows. Unknown solution means the solution whose strength is not known and is desired to be estimated by titration is called the unknown solution. Known solution means two solution will be given to you. One will be unknown and other will be known solution. With the help of that, we will calculate the normality or whatever has been asked for the unknown solution. So what is known solution? This is also called standard solution. The solution whose strength is accurately known is called the known solution or standard solution. This solution consists of an accurately known amount of a known substance dissolved in a known volume of the solution. Okay, now let's see mass percentage. If you have to calculate the mass percentage or percentage by mass. For this, mass percentage is defined as the mass of the solute in grams dissolved per 100 gram of the solution. There will be formula for everything, every whatever we are going to calculate, the formula is there. You have to learn these formulas, and these, when we will practice for it, means there you have to do certain numericals, and this whatever the volumetric calculations are, this volumetric analysis you are going to do in your laboratory also. So it will be very clear to you when you will perform a titration. You will find out the unknown solution, what is its volume, what is its normality, or whatever has been asked. So it will be very clear to you all these things when you will go for your laboratory. But before going to laboratory, we are going to do some practice by solving the numericals on all these formulas. So mass percentage, mass percent of the solute is equals to mass of solute by mass of the solution into 100. What it indicates, if I say that I have given you 5% solution of sodium chloride, it means that 5 gram of sodium chloride has been dissolved in 100 gram of the solution. Okay, means 5 gram I have taken sodium chloride and I have made 100 gram solution by dissolving it in normally water. It can, but there can be different solute or solvent we can use. Volume percentage. Volume percentage is defined as the volume of a solute present in the 100 units of the volume of the solution. This is the formula. Volume percentage of solute is equals to volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. Gram per liter. Gram per liter, we have to calculate gram per liter, that is the concentration. The concentration of a solution in grams per liter refers to the amount of solute in grams present in 1 liter of the solution. For example, 5 gram per liter sodium chloride solution means 5 gram of sodium chloride are present in 1 liter of the solution. Normality. It is defined as the number of gram equivalents of the solute dissolved per liter of the solution or at a particular temperature. Suppose if W grams of solute are present in V centimeter cube of a solution, then its normality capital N is given by, means with this formula NeV upon 1000, this you have to learn by heart, where capital E is the equivalent mass of the solute. This we can calculate. So NeV upon 1000, this you have to learn by heart. Normality of a solution is dependent on the temperature. So the relation in molarity and normality is, molarity is equals to normality into equivalent mass upon molecular mass. What is molarity of the solution? The number of moles of solute dissolved per liter of the solution at a particular temperature is called the molarity of the solution at that temperature. So molarity is equals to number of moles of the solute by volume of solution in liters. This is another formula. These formulas we are going to use in our numericals. Molarity equation, M1V1 is equals to M2V2. Mole fraction, this is also important. Mole fraction, it is the ratio of number of moles of one component to the total number of moles present in the solution, and it is represented by psi. Here the symbol is X, but it is represented by psi. I'll give you the clear structure. The mole fraction of a particular component in a solution is the ratio of number of moles of that component to the total number of moles of all the components present in the solution. These are few formulas to calculate to get the mole fraction of the solute or the mole fraction. So this was all about this chapter, but here we are not ending because lots of numerical and exercises we have to perform. Then only it will be easy for us to understand the every formula, and whatever the mole concept, chemical formula, empirical formula which we have done in class 10, we here again we are going to practice so that it will not be missed from our mind. So wait for my next PDF. In that I'll give you few solved questions, then I'll ask you to solve another unsolved questions. Okay, so what, and then if you will not be able to understand, you can ask me. Okay, thank you children. This is the end of the first chapter. I'll come with the next chapter, that will be your redox reaction. So be prepared, read the topic and then come to study about the redox reactions. Thank you children.